My name is Casey Cloud.
And I'm Shane Blanton.
In this sports geography presentation, we're going to explain why the NFL franchise St. Louis Rams should be relocated to Birmingham and named the Alabama Iron. We're in front of this stadium here with nice weather conditions around.
That's right, Casey. Off the top, one reason we feel the franchise should be relocated is the lack of major pro sports competition there is in Missouri. Both St. Louis and Kansas City have Major League Baseball teams, the Cardinals and the Royals, respectively.
Yeah, in addition, St. Louis has an NFL team in the Blues. Missouri also has an NFL team in the Kansas City Chiefs. We feel that Missouri is oversaturated with pro sports based on their population of just over 6 million, according to the latest U.S. Census data estimate. So in that most cities, despite being on the border of states, don't really need that much in terms of NFL production and pro sports production. Comparatively, Alabama has nearly 5 million people and has no major pro team.
However, they do have major schools in the state with the University of Alabama and Auburn University, where college football is a big deal. According to the New York Times article from 2011 that we read as a class, 85% of the Birmingham TV market follows college football. This made them the 6th largest college football TV market of total fans. In terms of total fans, except Los Angeles, Birmingham is the only city in the top 10 list that does not have at least one NFL franchise.
In addition, except for Texas, Alabama is the only state that has 2 teams in the top 10 of estimated fans, with Auburn at 7th and Alabama at 8th. The information shows that they have an interest in the sport of football. In addition, it's not just Alabama or SEC centric. According to ESPN Media Zone, Birmingham ranked 5th in metered markets, which are considered big markets in the country. This shows that the fans in this area are football hungry and that they're ready for an NFL team.
You know, another intriguing example of that is from AL.com, and an article is from 2013, where that year's NFL draft ranked 4th in the entire country despite not having any players taken the top 8 from an Alabama university, although 9 through 11 were taken from one of the two. And no high-profile players like quarterback, running back, or receiver were taken in the first round.
Yeah, Birmingham was the only city in the ESPN rankings in the top 10 from a state without an NFL team. Further adding to our point, this seems to show likely NFL support from potentially fans wanting to see a different level of athlete. Plus, in television DMA market sizes, Birmingham is bigger than New Orleans, Buffalo, and Jacksonville, 3 cities that already have NFL franchises.
Plus, combining the support of Huntsville and Montgomery TV markets with Birmingham surpasses St. Louis's. Even if just half the fans that watch Alabama and Auburn games on TV in the region watched it, it can still be a successful franchise.
Yeah, Birmingham and Alabama have a long history of football, mainly on the collegiate level. Alabama and Auburn have been successful in many ways. However, one interesting case study is UAB, Alabama Birmingham, and their football program, which has recently been canceled.
This may seem to suggest an economic con, contrasting other pros. However, it seems that the problem stemmed from too much college competition of the 2 more successful programs in the state and Legion Field. Research shows that Legion Field is the problem. It has very poor reviews with numerous problems reported, including it being dangerous. According to AO.com, it opened in 1927, so it's been a while that it's open. You know, it's almost 100 years old. So.
Right. However, we feel that a new stadium would help alleviate these problems. It may be best to build in this suburb of Birmingham to allow for easier travel by everyone in the state, except those in downtown Birmingham.
Bringing the Alabama Iron to Birmingham would have a huge economic benefit to the city and surrounding areas. Looking at similar events hosted in the city prior to the relocation of the Iron, the Birmingham Bowl generated $21.4 million of revenue in 2013. If a matchup between Ole Miss and Pittsburgh generated that much revenue, imagine the jobs that would be created within the franchise. Having restaurants or something like that, even transportation within like the city and stuff, because they're going to have to redo all that stuff, and it's going to bring a whole bunch of fans and stuff, and they're going to have transport, to get to and from the stadium to the hotels. So that's going to create like a huge revenue base, just off of that. Although the initial cost is to build the new stadium is expensive, the economic benefit would pay off in the long term for the city of Birmingham, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely would. It would just create wide-ranging, great helpful impacts for that area. In addition, Birmingham is a great outdoor climate like this is here for an NFL team. According to the National Weather Service in Birmingham, the temperatures range on average from 54 degrees in the early part of the year, such as January, and 90 degrees in the peak heating of the summer months. We're talking about July and August. Rainfall is totally or normally consistent though. The only concern is severe weather season, but this is generally in the off season from mid-February through late April, early May. There could be snow impacts, but most of these will be minimal, and these impacts should be less than an area that already has an NFL team, like the Tennessee Titans and the city of Nashville. The tropical cyclone impacts, those would be pretty minimal. Those would happen early in the season if they did, but most of those systems move from the south to the north, or even from the west to east to the west, and those should not have too big of an impact on them because Birmingham is far inland. They would just get residual effects such as isolated tornadoes, maybe some flooding, things like that, but the impacts shouldn't be too great in that area, making it minimal and wouldn't be anything like the impacts of areas like New Orleans.
So, we feel that there are many benefits from moving the St. Louis Rams to Birmingham and making them the Alabama Iron, in short, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. We really think that would be a great idea. But thanks so much for joining.